Hey, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and germs, as they used to say. Somebody did, Milton Berle, I think. It's Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John.
Love you.
Love you too, very, very much.
And we are, I like it. I like it. So, I can't just leave things alone. So this is a mixture. Leave it to us. It's Tito's and ginger ale. Where are you going, baby?
Well, I'm just going to pull this out because I think.
Well, leave it to us to figure out. It's not orange juice.
How do people get paid to do this?
It's something we don't get paid to do this. In fact, we pay to do this.
We love you, and we want you to be healthy too. So this
We drink that every day. This is the first time. Oh gosh, that's cold. This is the first time that we have used our healthy dose as a mixer. And I know there's a couple people out there just said, "I told you." These people drink all day and all night. No, we don't. Our livers are perfect. We want to keep them that way. That's right. So we're actually call this a balancing. That's so funny because this is this is dose for your liver, right?
Which is perfect. And actually, dose, you really should hire it.
I didn't even realize that. That's pretty funny.
We have a drinking show or a show about cocktails and topics. And some people give us a hard time.
Don't solicit
all the time.
Sometimes we eat.
We do.
And occasionally we sleep. Don't let other people do that sort of thing.
I know they do, but I think if we believe in a product, it's okay. I mean, I don't think we should.
We've used this every day for the last 6 months or so. So you drink a little metal. They send you a little metal shot glass. If you don't know what that is, look it up, or we can tell you. But they give you a little metal shot glass. You get 6 of these bottles. 6, 1, 2, 3.
That sounds right.
You might get 8. I think you get 6, and then you drink a shot of it in the morning and a shot of it at night before you go to bed. It's wonderful. Great thing about it though is that it comes. This is glass. So what I do is I then take the plastic logo off. And then I'll put iced coffee or I'll put water, I'll put things in glass, which I do believe is better for you. I'm really not a big proponent of aluminum cans.
What do you all think? I think what you put your drink in makes all the difference.
Yeah, scoot up a little bit so we're on the same focal plane. That way, not this way, that way, toward the camera.
Oh, okay.
See, the camera wants to be flat to us, like that. We're in Nashville.
Test it.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, we're equal. Because he went right in for it. Straight.
Oh, my God. So, obviously, folks, the world has taken a tragic and ridiculous and, I believe, totally unnecessary turn since last week. Last week we were talking about the young Ukrainian girl. And while we were recording that podcast, Charlie Kirk was in Orem, Utah, and shortly after we finished it, this tragedy unfolded, and truly, the world changed. This is not just some random act of violence. This is, without question, a politically motivated assassination. And that has not happened in my lifetime since. I mean, they tried when they shot Reagan, but I was alive.
Donald Trump.
Absolutely, they tried, but they failed. I was on this earth. I was very young when Kennedy was shot, but I was here. I was here when Robert Kennedy. Those were political assassinations. Martin Luther King was a political assassination. And Charlie Kirk, sadly, was also a political assassination. And we like to think we're getting more enlightened as we take each breath, but it seems to me that the headlines and things like that are trying to prove that we are not, that we're actually devolving as a race, and we must do something to combat that. And that's exactly what we're doing. You're given tools. If you're a public speaker, if you're a teacher, if you're a police officer or a fire chief or a fireman or a doctor, we are given the tools of communication. Our tools of communication are music and film. Basically, that calls down to or boils down to storytelling. So this week we've written a song. I brought a dear friend, Brandon Will, in, and we sat right in this room. In fact, here's some footage. Don't play the sound though, because we were just trying to figure it out. But Tony, play this some of this little footage while I'm speaking here. We were right here on this couch, and we were working on a song called Charlie's Words. And later today, we are actually filming this on Wednesday in Nashville. Later today at 1:00, we will be in the studio doing not only this song, but we're also going to be doing the theme to the Earls of Perry. I'm very excited about that. And then, time permitting, we may be doing a very fun song about taking out the trash. And this is the first time, and I write a lot of songs, and Dee Dee has been in the other room, or she's come in, and I'm going to tell you about what she did here a little bit ago. But I was singing, I'm happy taking out the trash, into my phone to so I could work. I was working on that, and she said, you know, a song like that could be a monstrous hit, just because it's so much fun. I'm happy taking out the trash. She paints toenails on my dash. She got a tattoo on her back. I'm happy taking out the trash. So it's fun. It's a silly song.
I'm like, wait a minute. But
I know, and I said, you know,
it's cute. It's cute.
that girl's a queen of the double wides. Wrong key. She wears her Daisy Dukes with pride. Don't bother, boys. That girl's attached because I'm happy taking out the trash. So we're going to do that too, because I think today in the studio is going to be a rather somber day. Although the song Charlie's Words is, I think, the best thing I've ever had anything to do with, since She's Worth It. And as a matter of reference, the gentleman I wrote She's Worth It with is Brandon Will. Brandon. His name is Brandon Will, and I for the longest time I thought his name was Will Brandon. Oh, hell, it might be Will. I don't know. Anyway, he's a wonderful singer-songwriter. He was just out in Chicago, where we were a couple days ago, doing he does a traveling tribute to James Taylor, and it's just amazing. So anyway, that song is, Charlie's words broke through the barricades. Charlie's words cut through the dark. Charlie's words gave silence people a purpose and a spark. They spoke of me, they spoke of you, they spoke of us and them and we. Charlie's words gave strength to people to get up on their feet and speak it loud, speak it proud, with the voice God gave to us. I tell you now, they've no idea what we'll do. They've no idea what they've done or what we'll do with Charlie's words. Forgive me, I don't know all the chords, but it's an anthem. You know, it's yeah. So it's going to be great. Can't wait for you to hear it. I'm told that you may hear it on Friday.
We'll find out.
Oh my God.
Well, you know.
And she said, does it have to happen so slow? I'm thinking, my God. I didn't even know that I had started to write this song until, what day were we at lunch? Should I tell this story?
Well, maybe, or maybe not.
Well, that settles it, doesn't it?
It's up to you.
It's up to me, it's up to you.
But, you know, just very
No idea what we'll do with Charlie's words.
Boy, were we, like, just socked in the gut, like, the whole country, John and I, and we were both crying. It was like, we can't even believe this. It was surreal and just so sad. And then this poor widow and the kiddos and that sort of thing. I mean,
Oh, the strength she exhibited, though, I'll tell you what.
She is a rock star. She just, I mean, and I've been there, I know. I mean, when you lose someone, it is very difficult. But she is so strong.
But like that,
amazing,
neither
smart.
one of us can even imagine. Because she was there with their beautiful children.
I don't know if she was there. Was she?
I heard she was there.
The kids were there, but that could, who knows? You would think she would be, but I don't want to say. We don't want to say something we don't know.
We
sure.
heard that she was there, but certainly,
still,
like everybody, she was forced to watch it over and over and over, which really, it's so funny. It disgusted me that they showed it over and over and over, and then Brandon said, "Yes, but it also fueled our fire."
It did.
It fueled, and I said, "You know what? You're right." So those words are in the song.
So John and I were wanting to do something, and you feel so helpless, and it just worked out, and it was meant to be for John to write a song for Charlie called Charlie's Words, and all of the money,
everything,
proceeds, whatever you call, what do you call, not proceeds, but just money made from the song,
anything made, any
will go
any
to
money.
Turning Point, and of course, Turning Point is an amazing group that Charlie Kirk headed up and was very successful, and I believe that's why Donald Trump won, because he was able to rally the youth.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I believe President Trump absolutely knows that too.
Yeah. So anyway, we wanted to do our little part. Really, I don't want to say it's a little like belittling, but gosh, it just seems like with everything going on, if you can do anything good in the world or something to contribute, especially after seeing what Charlie Kirk did in his very short life, he was so young and he did so much. That John is so amazing, and he put it together very quickly, and the song is beautiful. And I'm very proud of you, honey.
Thank you, baby.
It's really a wonderful song in tribute to Charlie Kirk. So and you all will be able to listen and try to find it. And again, all the money will go to Turning Point, Charlie Kirk's organization. And if you didn't agree with them, it doesn't matter. Nobody deserves to be assassinated for free speech. Oh, it's terrible for anything. Right,
and I've had a bunch of people because I posted some of the words, and we posted the Fox interview or the Fox,
which was everywhere, went everywhere. Everybody was so interested in what John had to say. And what were the words you said, honey?
Well, that this was something that was meant to stop a conversation.
Louder and prouder.
But we're going to be louder and prouder than ever before, because this is not a trend. It's a movement. So, and I've had a lot of people say, well, Charlie Kirk said this and he said that and he said this. And I said, okay, well, show me. And yes, he did. He was, I'm not shy.
Fearless. He was fearless.
But he was fearless. But I have yet to see, unless he felt he was being belittled or punked in some way, because there's one where I have a feeling that the guy was intentionally trying to get a rise out of him, because I could see humor in Charlie's face when he was saying, "Oh, that's anyway." I wonder if anyone really has video, and I'd love to know. What I saw Charlie Kirk doing was saying, "Go ahead, change my mind. Here's what I believe. Here's why I believe it. What do you believe?" And they would say something, and he'd say, "Okay, well then you haven't heard about blah blah." And they'd say, "No." He'd say, "Okay, well maybe you should listen to it before you formulate such an opinion." And they would say, "Well, have you heard about blah blah?" And he would say, "Yes." That was so and so on such and such a date. This is an incredibly smart man that I think was borderline savantish with his memories of things that he heard people say, where they were, when they were, what they were wearing when they said it.
He was definitely put on this earth to do this. I mean, that was the divine, that was providence.
I believe so. So while I do agree with people that said he would berate some people, well,
so what?
He would debate people, and then if they couldn't finish the debate, if they couldn't compete with his debating skills, then like any good debater, he would just end it. I don't think that's a sin. I don't think that's a crime.
That's free speech.
I think it's free speech.
Amendment of the United States of America, free speech, and you should not be assassinated For
Absolutely
everything you
not.
say.
My God.
Assassinated? Oh, it's just so horrible.
So I think someone said that this assassination for this generation is like what, because I was here when Martin Luther King was assassinated, and it was and I tell you what, there was no racism the day Martin Luther King. Maybe there were silent or people who didn't have a platform like Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or anything. That is a problem. One of the great things about social media is it gives voice to everybody, and one of the terrible things about social media is it gives voice to everybody. But I never, in my young years, I don't remember anyone saying, "Yay,
when somebody
Martin Luther King was shot." I don't remember that.
That's the worst part of this, in my opinion, is that people are like going, "Yeah, Charlie Kirk." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how can you do that?" But I love Ryan Fournier, and I apologize, Ryan, if I'm getting your name wrong. But that group, he has been tired.
Turning Point, right?
No,
Pardon me.
He's Students for Trump.
Oh yes!
And
Oh my gosh,
so
Ryan, you're
smart
fantastic.
and
You are
so
a rock star.
amazing. Follow him. It's spelled Fournier. And I apologize. I'm probably
I think that's
butchering
funny,
your
eh?
name. Yeah. So he has been constantly finding people that did that, and then he would send it to the employer, and they get fired. Fired. People from universities that said, "Oh, I'm glad that he died." Guess what? They got fired. So fired from restaurants, from from really, I think, all walks of life. And it's amazing that the employees are like, "Yeah, you're gone. You're out of here. We don't need that." And it's happening over and over again. And even in kind of liberal groups, not all
That's
liberals,
what's amazing.
Not all liberals agree with that. In fact, most, I want to say, are like, how can you say it's a good thing for this kid?
Well, like this moron, this absolute moron.
Young man, very accomplished young man, articulate. Just because you don't agree, you don't shoot the guy. So a lot of liberals agree with us on this, thankfully.
Yeah, yeah. Except for there are some out there, and some that are very, very verbal. One has a late night show who has the audacity and the stupidity to say that this young man from Utah who assassinated Charlie Kirk was a MAGA crazy person. And by the way, there's a MAGA. If you don't know, MAGA means Make America Great Again. The sad part about the word MAGA, the acronym MAGA, is it sounds kind of like maggot.
Yeah,
it does.
Go there.
Well, it does, which has a bad connotation. That's not what it means. They say it like MAGA. High five.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm proud of you. Wait till you hear this song. It's so amazing. I like you.
It's it is it makes me cry. It makes me cry. It's a song that never should have had to have been written, ever. And
so sad about Charlie Kirk, but I tell you, the movement is huge. I mean, in London, did you see all those people in the streets and in other countries that are with us? It's really amazing.
I get a picture. I'm going to cry now.
I'm just going to say thank you, Charlie. I'm so sorry that happened, but thank you. We both do. Thank you very much.
I get a picture. I'm a Christian, but I have this really casual way to speak. So I have this picture of Jesus and Charlie sitting on a fence, and they're both wearing cowboy boots. I'm sorry for you Christians who think Jesus only wears slippers, but they're wearing cowboy boots. And Jesus has got his arm around Charlie, and he says, "Look, I didn't expect you so soon, but watch this." Aww.
And also the meme like that where Charlie's got his arm around the little Ukrainian girl. Ugh. That died on the train and was butchered on the train. I couldn't even believe it. We had that then, Charlie Kirk. I'm like, what is going on?
So this is a turning point. I was editing. I was downstairs in Madison. I was editing the documentary, and I came up, and Dee Dee's pacing, and she's like, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, what's going? What what did I do now? No, what happened? And she says, Charlie Kirk was just shot. And I'm like, oh my God, is he okay? She said, I don't know.
I'm heading on social media, but not the TV. So John is much better with the controls than I am. I said, please just turn it on, and sure enough.
And we were watching Greta Susteren, right? Greta on Newsmax. They were doing an interview about other things, and of course, everything went right to that. And then it was first President Trump said that he had been given word that Charlie had passed away. We heard that Speaker Johnson was about to say something, got a message, and then he left.
That was the message, obviously.
So obviously that was the message.
But I get chills now, still so upset. But I feel like it was 9/11 all over again, because a lot of people, I don't know if you'd call it an assassination, but they were certainly murdered. They were killed, and it was so horrible. And I feel the same sadness and same just. Well, but this was this. You know, yes, we all do. All of America. You know, we get this, other than the people that are hateful towards them, and they don't count.
And by the way, the call to action in the song is not about you bastards just wait and see what we're going to do to you. That's not what it means. What it means is we are going to join together in a way that we never possibly imagined. Make America great again. Thank you, Charlie Kirk. I'm so sorry that happened. So sorry that had to happen. But boy, did it make a difference. Change the world. It changed the world, and so if you have it seems like the one thing most can agree with is that this was the wrong solution. This was the wrong. If you want to silence someone who has a voice, debate them. Debate them. Make them look foolish, and then walk away victorious. But don't do something like this. And we we just don't know what the next minute will bring anymore. So if there's something you can do, donate to Turning Point. That's great. Or get involved in local government. Get involved in make a change. And you know what? I'm just naive enough to say, if the change you want to make doesn't go along with the change I want to make it anyway. Do whatever you can. Let me give a little example of that. It's not Charlie Kirk related, but I don't know. I kind of think that people are now thinking, what can I do? What civic organization can I join? Or you can speak to that. Yeah. What can we do or get involved in government, like John said? But I won't get into the details of what was in the text, but Mayor Bob of Madison said, hey, Elise, she is our comptroller in Indiana. I gave her your number so she could reach out about John's idea about the national debt. John is so smart. He's so great at politics as well as singing and being the Dukes of Hazzard guy. I am not great at politics at all, but I do believe I have been given the gift of common sense. I believe that. Well, that's policy. I do believe that. Policy and politics go together, because you can't get the policy out there if you don't get the right people in. So Elise, and her name is Italian, and I will get it wrong, so I'm just going to say Elise, who everybody knows in Indiana, our state comptroller. She's wonderful. Who is like the state treasurer. They changed the name for some reason. And John and she had a conversation at the Lincoln Day dinner in Madison. Which was so much fun. Thank you to our beautiful hotel there. Yeah. For putting on such a great event. The Republican Party there, the Jefferson County Republican Party. It was a party for the Republican Party. That's what the Lincoln Day dinners are. The Lincoln Reagan Day dinners, that's the thing. Many of them are now Reagan Day dinners, or both. So anyway, Elise handles the budget and the money of Indiana. And by the way, Indiana, I'm going to brag, has a gigantic surplus. Unlike a lot of states, are in debt, but not us. And a balanced budget. Yep, that's why they have a surplus. But John had a chat with Elise, and Miss Elise, I don't want to be disrespectful, Comptroller Elise, and she wanted to chat with John more about it because it was such a great idea. Well, so she said to you, I just talked to your husband, and he had a really good idea. So she sent me the message and wants to talk to John more about it. So now John's not only singing a song to raise money for Turning Point and to remember Charlie Kirk, he has the state treasurer basically saying, hey, I want to know more about your idea. May we talk? And so impressive with this lady.
comptroller Elise.
Well, this hadn't
Is
happened
Schneider.
yet. This hadn't happened yet
No,
when we had this conversation.
Right. So that's true. But I just feel like the energy and everything's just kind of like with this tragic event, which was so sad and so terrible, but so many good things are sprouting from it.
And I'll tell you the idea. The idea was pretty simple. We now are in a position. If you love your country, I love my country. I've always loved my country, but I now trust the management of my country. Okay. So what that means to me is, yes, we have now a $37 trillion debt. We have a $37 trillion debt.
Indiana has a surplus. I'm going to interject that one more time.
Again, and there are a couple of states I think that have a surplus, but Indiana led the way. They said, look, this can be done. We can do it. Why can't you?
Well, Mitch Daniels did that. I mean, you don't know who Mitch Daniels is, but wonderful man. But he's a former governor, and he said, we're going to balance the budget. Then we're going to have a surplus. And of course, Eric kept it. And Mike Braun, I don't know him. I mean, the last governor I went to college with at a different time, but I knew him very well from the Republican Party, like super duper well. And I would just text him about things. This guy I don't know. And then Mitch Daniels, who I loved. Anyway, you have to be in good financial shape. And you
have to. You can't help people if you are helpless.
And Indiana,
kind of makes sense.
Are not high. The taxes are high.
Right.
And it's like, so in Illinois, let's just pick on Illinois because we were just there, but we love Chicago was fun. But you know what? It was kind of.
And Joliet was great in that little town. It's beautiful.
I know.
And Chicago is beautiful, by the way.
Chicago.
But we had somebody tell us, go ahead.
This is so sad.
We're filming. I'm filming. Hey, well, 50-state tour.
We went downtown. We drove down Lakeshore Drive, gorgeous drive. And I think most people have gone to Chicago because Chicago is pretty centrally located. Beautiful city. The government is trying to destroy it. But anyway, we're there and we're all excited and we're taking pictures of the sign because
Route 66 sign.
Tell them what that means.
Because that's the beginning of Route 66. Well, that's the northeastern beginning of Route 66. It ends up or starts, depending on your perspective, in Santa Monica Pier.
I think most people think it's east to west. I think most people think that.
I know they do, but that's actually not true because I believe the idea of joining what Route 66, and I'll get back to what I was saying a minute ago, but what Route 66 is all small towns have a main street. Every small town everywhere has a main street. It's usually somewhere near the stagecoach stop, which became the train stop, which became Main Street.
The first one, river travel, just saying.
Well, if you're on a river, yes. But if you're in the middle of Kansas,
and road
but
came to be, right? Because it kind of started going like trains and roads. But before, is if you were on the river.
I'm trying to tell people.
Okay.
That's right. The river is a whole different world. We live on the river, and there are folks who live in River City with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Okay, but the other parts of the country all had main streets, and then they had very limited ways to get to the town next door, the town east or the town west. So they came up, I think it was 1926, the idea came up to join my main street with your main street with a thoroughfare that made it easier for us to trade.
Get your kicks.
That's Bobby Troop wrote that. Bobby Troop was a doctor in emergency.
It's so cute.
But so that's why Route 66 was called America's Main Street, because it joined individual towns' main streets together. I am of the belief that actually started in the middle, like Oklahoma City, and worked its way out to the east and to the west. That's my belief. I don't think there's any way to prove that. But I do know that people in California, because that's Santa Monica Boulevard,
they make it very obvious there. Well, it's beautiful. But in Chicago, we have to tell you, we barely found it. I mean, they don't think they do it well enough there. Sorry, Chicago, but it's true.
They don't understand. Let me finish this thought. Mm-hmm. So the people in California and the people in Chicago and probably the people in Oklahoma, not Oklahoma City, but the people in the bigger cities didn't really need. Los Angeles never felt the need to do reciprocal trade with Barstow or San Bernardino. They just kind of, we're lost, and they still feel that way. Same thing with Chicago.
And New York.
Well, but New York's not on Route 66.
True.
So it was the smaller towns where somebody had great rice and somebody had great soybeans and somebody had great cotton and somebody else had great coal or whatever it is that they had. They recognized the need to be able to travel more easily, not just on the train. This was Route 66 was a fly in the ointment for the train business, because all of a sudden people didn't have to, they could just go in their pickup truck, the Goads from not of Mice and Men, of
Grapes of Wrath.
Of the Grapes of Wrath, yeah. Could just get in their truck and they'd get in their Ford. Remember, you could get a Ford in any color as long as it was black.
And it was stacked up like the Beverly Hillbillies, but higher.
They could go to the next town over or 2 towns over on Route 66. And get what they need and trade what they needed. So Route 66 actually empowered people and empowered commerce. Then, later, when we had a threat of war, either made up or real, during Eisenhower, who was a general, obviously, so he's going to be thinking about I like Ike. Protecting our country, which, by the way, is your first obligation as a public servant, is to defend the people that you represent.
Commander-in-Chief, right. That is your first obligation.
So in the event, in the unlikely or likely event of war on our soil, President Eisenhower came up with the interstate system, which made it easier to travel for our troops to get from one place to another, because they had noticed that in foreign countries, because there was no Route 66, there was no interstate system, they spent more time trying to get tanks to the next line of engagement than they spent actually engaging with the enemy. So they built the interstate system. I'm not for the interstate system, because what that did is if your stagecoach route was here, and then your train was here, so your main street was here, and Route 66 came out of either side of that. What the interstate system did was they put it over here or over here. So many, many very thriving towns on Route 66 dried up as soon as they cut the ribbon on the interstate system. I don't believe that was the plan for the interstate. I think it was. I think it's true that
collateral damage.
But it damaged so much commerce.
And we love those towns along the way of Route 66, and we try. And on the tour, which, by the way, the reason we're in Nashville, of course, is for Charlie's
words. Charlie's words.
Okay. Sorry. Anyway, but we're going out west in a motorhome. We should be in Minnesota right now. Well, guess what? We're doing this because this took precedence.
Yep.
Charlie dying. Charlie's voice is more important than anything right now. So we dropped everything we were doing happily, not in the way that poor Charlie died, but we're happy to drop what we're doing for Charlie. And here we are. And John's going to record the song soon. And when you hear
somehow came right back to
I know. Well,
that's great.
I love you.
That's great. I love you too. But so that was the story about Route 66. That was what we did in Chicago. That's part of not of this song, but I was editing the documentary when I heard about this.
But see, Charlie loved America too, and that's what we're doing. We're doing the documentary. And again, please send your suggestions of where to go in every state. What is historic? What is important? What gives you the flavor of the state, that you're in? So you have been so helpful. So thank you very much.
And I love things that are obvious. I mean, I love it when people talk about Gettysburg. I love all that kind of stuff. But I would rather go to like we want to go to the Battle of Bunker Hill.
Mm-hmm. We will.
We're going to go there. We want to go maybe to Appomattox. We want to go to Richmond. I want to go to Richmond.
What's the cafe you love?
Oh, the Baghdad Cafe?
We're going to go there.
We're going to go to the Baghdad Cafe.
I have to tell you, they've requested 2 or 3 times. I've sent them to someone we work with to make all that work. But I think we're going to go to the Baghdad Cafe, and they don't even know yet.
If you haven't seen the movie, well, they do now. If you haven't seen the movie, you got to see the movie. It's a great place it's outside of Barstow, California, on Route 66. And it's a cult film. Does okay here, but for some reason, it's huge in France. So when you go to the Baghdad Cafe, and if you happen to be on Route 66, it's more likely that you will sit next to a family speaking French and a family speaking English.
And honey, I think that's
pretty cool.
The Dukes of Hazzard being shown in France, and they're singing, you know, and
when you pointed it out that I was me, and Charlie, fais-moi peur, which means sheriff, make me scared. That's the name. For some reason, that's the name of the French version of the Dukes of Hazzard. Charlie, fais-moi peur.
And seriously, there were two tables of French men, French women.
Well, with their kids, they were on a road trip.
Well, I don't know if they're Parisians or not. I sort of think
and they were going to Amboy. Amboy is a little town on Route 66 that's no longer really. There's nothing there. There's a gas station.
Exactly. And a lot of the Route 66 places, it's like we were cheering for them, and we try to go to the restaurant or get the gas or get the stuff or whatever we can do to support. Yeah. Because when the interstate went in, forget it. Many of them just went away. And they're like ghost towns.
They kind of dried up, but a lot of people in those towns are saying, "No, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna stick it out."
And you know, and people
God bless you. We appreciate it.
It's
Seligman, Arizona is one. Seligman, Seligman has said no, and Seligman is doing great. So they have spent whatever they need to spend to put
Roadkill Cafe. We've been there.
The Roadkill Cafe to put billboard signage on the interstate so that people will come and see what's going. Peggy Sue's Diner.
Oh my gosh, we went.
That's
there.
Actually
John was on the wall. We were sitting at the bar, of course, because we're both. Just so you know,
it's not the bar. We were sitting at the.
No, we were sitting at the bar.
Well, what do you call that? Like an
right
IHOP.
Behind it.
By the way, Uncle Herschel is back.
Woo!
Woo-hoo-hoo! We started loving him today.
But we're sitting at the
bar. Put the old guy back on the side. Now the barrel's not gone away. We can start going back there today.
John, I'm telling you, John was the first person to people were not happy about it, but John did a song about it. He's like, all right, we're stopping. And then we went to a rest stop, and John's over here, and all these kids are going, who is that guy over there, like on the guitar?
Mommy.
So John did this song, guy? And then not long after, they acquiesced. And they're like, all right, we're bringing Uncle Herschel back. We didn't mean to kill him off. We swear.
No, yesterday, we were at breakfast yesterday, and we swear we saw Uncle Herschel. Here, check this video out. Don't play the sound again, but here we are. Or play the sound. It's okay. Just cut it in here. But it was funny. And we talked to Jessica at the bar. Yeah, we always sit at the bar. But they call it a bar even if you go to a soda shop. It's a bar.
Reason, folks, because we travel a lot, so we're sitting like this. So we're both tall. We both have long legs. So the bars.
Well, but people have a tendency to not come up and
there's that too.
And chat when you're at the bar for some reason.
Yeah, because we.
But Jessica, who is the bartender and the
she knows you
wonderful at Midtown, I said, I think that's Uncle Herschel. She said, who? I said, it's Uncle Herschel from Cracker Barrel. Yeah. And I think she said, it might be Orville Redenbacher.
Yeah, there's that too. And that's an Indiana guy. Gotta love it. So,
but look at that. Look at what happened.
People went crazy.
People went nuts for Uncle Herschel.
What is wrong with Cracker Barrel? We want it the same way.
But Cracker Barrel had already made a $400 million decision, which it's hard to reverse a $400 decision, let alone a $400 million decision. But she and I and you and us and we changed their mind, and now they announced 2 days ago that all across the glorious United States of America, they're getting rid of the new signage, they're getting rid of the whole new idea, and they are putting at least the sign back. Hopefully, hopefully they're going to put the tables back and all the great old stuff back. But we made a difference. Okay, so we made a difference. Charlie was making a difference. Charlie's words now that live on through us will make a difference. But they're not, I'm going to kick your ass. That's not what the words are. Let's talk about this.
And who cares if they were? He may have said that. I don't know. I mean, but the point being is he wanted
I call people
America to be great again. It was very important to him. And I have to tell you, what I was moved about, I mean, obviously, seeing the kids and the wife and whatever, but that is very important because
she is a strong woman.
I love her. She is so strong, and it is so hard. And they're young, and they've got little bitty babies. It's just heartbreaking. But I'm telling you, that woman, she is a warrior. She's great.
Yep.
So there's that.
I took some of her words for the song.
Oh.
They have no idea what they've done or what we'll do. Me and you. Charlie's words. Yep.
I mean, there's the heartbreak of the family, and we're all just torn up about it. And these, you know, when she was talking about the little baby, it was like, where's Dada? You know, what do you do? I mean, it's so heartbreaking. But, you know, Charlie Kirk, I'm telling you, I mean,
I believe
he's a warrior.
Yeah.
I almost think he was the same. They were talking about him, like, you know, he's religious, but was starting to look at the Catholic Church. I'm not Catholic. But I tell you what, they should give him sainthood. He was a saint. In my opinion, whenever you move the world in a good way, you're a saint. I mean, obviously that's out of our realm, but look at what's going on because of what he did. Wow. I mean, thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Erica, and those poor little kids. But, you know, they're going to know that their daddy was a hero. Their daddy was a hero. Dada was a hero. Yep. Amazing.
Yep.
And if you make that mark in the world, I mean, look, he was very young. Jesus was very young when he died, and I'm telling you.
Wow, yeah.
Just saying. I mean, this is a movement, I think, to save America and to save the world. Wow. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah. And it's okay to disagree with someone.
Of course.
But what you need to do is to be prepared. One of the problems today, I'm the old guy sitting on the fence going, well, you know, these young folks, I guess that's just me. But you need young person, everybody, but young people in particular, you need to take the time to formulate your own opinions. Not just take the short route by spewing out opinions that you've heard this morning that you think you may agree with that came up on your phone.
That doesn't mean it's true.
So, well, it doesn't mean it, but still, even, I mean, I've had stuff come on my phone. I said, you know, I never thought about it that way. I'm going to run that through my computer, my processing machine. If you don't take the time to develop
your own ideas,
but the machine in your mind, in your soul that processes information and comes out with something called an educated opinion, then just be careful. Be careful because, and I think I do that. You know, I don't think that I just react. I think that I go, okay, well, that hurt. But what am I going to do with it? So I'll put it against other information that I have. I'll put it against other thoughts that I've had.
And you write some.
I'll put it against experience. I'll put it against hypothetical things. I mean, the human mind is amazing. It'll put these things in there. What are you doing, baby? Ginger ale, love it. But they'll so then what did I don't remember who said chew your words very carefully before you spit them out, but it was Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens. It was Mark Twain who said, "Please forgive the long letter, as I did not have time to write a short one." Which means the editorial process. It's an editorial. The editorial I think the process may be called editorial in any event.
You know what? I think it both works.
The editorial process takes longer than the writing process,
I think you're right.
as is evidenced in this song.
Honey,
I
think
wrote
you're
the
right.
okay, thank you, baby. I wrote this song, the first draft of it, very quickly, and then, being a pretty smart guy, I sent it to Brandon because I thought if anybody's going to be able to find the implied structure in this poem, it's going to be him. So sent it to him, and then we text back and forth, and then we spent, what do you think, an hour? An hour here working on the song, and and we were delighted with it. And then this one comes in and says, you know, that just, I mean, that's great. I think you all are great, but that just sounds so folksy. And she said, remember how you were, that's why we won't give up. Hell no. In this lost world, she's our hero. Freedom isn't free. It's up to you and me. Brother, I believe she's worth it. So she said, you got to put the, and she's right, because, you know, I'm not a subtle guy. I do believe I can have my mind changed if given new valid information that I put through my system. But she stood right over here and she said, you know, that is beautiful, but, you know, it's likely that everyone is writing beautiful tribute songs. It's like when people say, let's have a moment of silence for Charlie. My heart and soul says, no, let's have an hour of debate for Charlie. Let's not be quiet. I understand the moment of silence, and I'm not judging anyone who has said that, because that is what you generally do when someone has passed away. But I think Charlie Kirk would say, let's have 5 seconds of silence, and then let's do something. So we got to talk about the new hat.
True, but to finish that thought, because I was there, because I said it, John is outspoken. Charlie Kirk certainly was, and even the widow, the beautiful Erica,
oh yeah,
who has that strength? My goodness! And she also was like, "You have no idea what you've done." And Charlie would just debate everyone, and John's like that.
You have no idea what you've done or what we'll do.
So it was so pretty, but I thought, I think we need an anthem. I think we need to be stronger. I think that's what they would want. I was like, I just put my opinion out there. I wasn't in charge. John is in charge, and he's like, yeah, I think you're right. So that's why I kind of...
Well, and then Brandon immediately started, rather than...
Yeah. Because he's James Taylor. That's what John said. He's a James Taylor type, and it's very pretty and folksy. But I'm like, you know, I'm not thinking pretty and folksy right now. I think people want an anthem to be there.
Then he started just chunking it. And when I sang, you've no idea what you've done or what we'll do, me and you, Charlie's words. It's like, oh my God.
Well, you and Charlie and Erica, Miss Erica, not exactly wallflowers. So it's like there's a mission here, and that's to remember Charlie, and that's Charlie's words, and that's what John's doing. And I think you all are going to love it.
I think you're going to love it, and I want you to go out and do something, right? Do something, say something. Make a change. Make the change that you want to see. And if somebody else doesn't want to see it, so what? And you know, unless you're making a change because you're just mean, don't do that. Don't make some contrary change because you're a what do they call a snarky, nasty person.
Contrarian.
That's the big dog, the high dollar word. Make a change because you want to see a change. We went when we were filming the documentary in Chicago. A guy came up and said, "You know, it's a good way to get your phone stolen."
Coming back to what we were talking about.
And I'm thinking, well, this is one of the
And I'm
most
like,
beautiful
what?
streets in the country. And this guy warned us. He wasn't being snarky.
No,
He was just
he's
saying,
being
you know,
nice.
yeah, because somebody will run by and steal your phone.
That's horrible. Chicago is such a beautiful city, and here we are. We're like adding to the documentary the beginning of Route 66 that we discussed. And John's there, got the tripod out. We've even got the door open in the car, and there's like a backpack with money in it. I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, or valuables, whatever. So we're thinking it's okay. And the guy comes by, and I'm literally just have my phone like this, filming John filming. And he said to me in front of John, because he didn't know her together, but I don't think it better anyway. He was just trying to be helpful. Like, hey, that's a good way for your phone to get stolen. And he turned around and shook his head, don't do it. And I'm like,
he did have kind of an attitude about like, you moron, but that's okay because it was advice well taken.
I mean,
because I've got my door open. I think the truck was running.
Tourists. Yeah, the truck, the Raptor was running. There's money in the front seat.
We're talking like 40
like a,
but you know, stuff that people would
purse, like a backpack, like something people would grab easily. So if you're going to grab my phone, you're going to go jump in the car and take off with the car with a backpack.
Yeah, but as soon as it locks, what are you going to do? I don't understand.
I know, but
you don't know the passcode, and it's not your facial. It's not your face. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would steal a phone.
It sucks that you can be.
They cost 25 cents now.
We are literally on Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue now is South Michigan Avenue. But still, the guy's like, that's a good way for your phone to get stolen.
My gosh, this is going fast. We only have 10 minutes left.
Uh-oh. Well, that's okay. You know, we're having a ball. We love.
That's why we won't give up. Hell no. In this lost world. Anyhow.
So,
love music, love Nashville.
We're
going to do that song. We're going to do There's no world. It's all you never saw. I don't know the chords. Mountain never got him, and neither did the law. They say he got his left foot from his papa's pawpaw. Ain't nowhere no one like him, Jackson Stonewaller. So that's, of course, going to be the theme song to the new show, The Earls of Perry. So we're very excited about that, too. Now we have to wait until, we've already said this, till spring, which is a beautiful time in Kentucky.
How many times do you have the sesquicentennial of your country? How about once? So that popped up, and we're like, okay, let's do this first, and then we'll go back to Earls of Perry. And it will be wonderful, but you know, the tour as well. But my gosh, we could have been in like Wisconsin and Minnesota, maybe, or Iowa. We probably would have had 3 more states done. But when Charlie Kirk got killed, it's like, all right, this is what's important. We have to do a song.
So we're doing this, but it's going to be part of a new album. I'm not sure what the album is. We are recording 3 songs today. There are at least 10 songs on an album, but we are going to release this song as soon as possible, maybe as early as when you're watching this. The tendency is to want to fiddle with a song until you get it just, but we don't really have time to do that right now. So
I'm so inspired. It's already great.
Be on the lookout for the song. It's called Charlie's Words, and you'll be able to hear it on
Spotify.
Well, it takes a while to do that too.
Well, however you can do it, and even we'll do a YouTube thing or whatever. But this is for Charlie Kirk. We're not making a dime.
Everything goes to Turning Point.
But everything will go to Turning Point.
Yeah, everything going to Turning Point, and there have been people who've suggested that. I appreciate your suggestions.
But we
already decided that. And then there are nasty, terrible, awful people who said you shouldn't be making money off of somebody's death. Well, no shit.
We're donating money, so sorry, losers. That I mean, I hate when people are like, "You should be making money." Who said we were? We're not. We are giving it all to Turning Point. In Turning Point, they're doing such a great job. My goodness.
In fact, we had somebody came up with a T-shirt idea and said, "Oh, you should do this." I said, "No, we can't do that.
We're making money off of.
We can't. No, absolutely not. We can't profit off of this. So
maybe not. Let's do that. You brought it up.
Do you have the question? Well, we only have 8 minutes left.
No, we've got
7 minutes left.
7 is. I can't even tell you how perfect that is. We have 7 minutes left, and we're talking about the seventh
Wait, let me
president.
do background music.
7 minutes. John just brought it up, and this is about the 7th president of the United States, who happened to be the hero of the Battle of New Orleans. Who is that president? Who was the hero of the Battle of New Orleans? And I brought that up because we're in Tennessee. This is
How many hints are you going to give?
A lot. This one's easy.
Where did we play golf yesterday?
Old Hickory.
Well, we tried. We tried to play golf.
We did.
And all of a sudden, you know, kind of like with Pigpen on Peanuts. It was like, we're like, and this cloud went,
and then the horn blows, and we have to leave.
We had to leave. So sadly, we were actually playing. I only lost one golf ball.
We were both playing well.
But I lost it at the top of a tree.
We were both playing well. I'm telling you, golf balls go in trees, and sometimes they don't come down. And then we heard the big horn, and then we're like, all right, we're done.
Well, but then he came and said, you know, you can go out and play again. But we'd already given up our clubs and our cart. But
we'll be back to old.
And we had driven from Chicago.
Yeah.
In the morning, so we're pretty tired.
But we had a ball. We had a great time.
We played golf and we had a ball. I get it. That's funny. That's funny.
And we're going to record soon. And anyway, so let me show you the hat. I love all of the hats we're giving away. It's hard for me kind of to give away, but it also gives me joy.
While she's saying it's hard to give away hats, Tony, show this picture.
It also gives me joy.
This is what I came up with, how to display Dee Dee's hats.
I love this hat. I always say that, but I do. I love all of them. They're so pretty, and it's got this nice netting. And it's September, so it's a little difficult for hats. Many of them are straw. Straw, in my opinion, for September is wrong. And it's like
this is handmade, right? This is amazing. These are, I tell you what,
it's gorgeous.
You know, folks, these are not
these hats.
These are not baseball hats, okay? Which are great. We have them online.
Brown bow on
but
top.
This is a handmade. This is vintage. Is this vintage?
Yes.
It's a handmade vintage hat. This is if this hat is a penny, it's a $500 hat.
It's a perfect September hat. I love it. And we're coming up. Do you remember?
21st of September.
So this is a great 21st.
Doesn't work for me.
You don't even have it on the right way. It's the other way.
Oh, it's this way?
Yeah. And you put it on back a little bit. Like I just love it. It's got a little netting here, and it's brown and gold, and it has a little bow on top.
If I were a rich man, all day long I'd be if I were a wealthy man. Wouldn't have to work, huh? I love it. It's great. Pardon me for I'm
John
not disparaging this hat. It's a beautiful hat.
I love it. Oh, this is so beautiful, you guys. I can't even tell you. I love it. I love it. And then it's got the little bow on top.
A little bow.
So, yes. So these hats mean a lot to me, but I want them to mean a lot to you. And we're happy to do these giveaways. We just went to the post office, and we sent out, 3 or 4 hats?
Yep.
So anyway, every week we give away the hat, but here's the clue again.
5722.
Okay. Here's the question again. Who is the hero of the Battle of New Orleans? And it was the 7th president from Tennessee. So this week's easy. And you'll get this beautiful hat. It's a beautiful September hat. I love it. I love wearing it. But you need to give. You need to be generous. So it's in perfect condition.
But you don't need to be generous to win the hat. You just need to answer the question.
We pay. We're going to send it to you. Happy to do it.
We're happy to do it.
Yes. Who is the hero of the Battle of New Orleans? Which was the hero?
There was a song written about it.
Which was the hero of the War of 1812 as well?
How many hints are you going to give? 15 people already got it.
I know. I'm being generous this week. And the 7th president from Tennessee.
Because last week was hard.
It was.
Actually, wait. We have time. You found out something you didn't know about.
I did.
Okay, explain that.
Okay. So the longest inaugural speech was William Henry Harrison. He was the governor of the Indiana Territory. Then his grandson, Benjamin Harrison, was also president. William Henry Harrison was in office 30 days. Most people feel he the reason he died was because he gave the longest inaugural speech in history. It was forever. It was like 2 hours, some crazy time. Didn't wear his jacket. Older guy.
It was cold outside. It was January 20th. Hello.
Don't do an inaugural speech without a jacket for 2 hours at 70 whatever years old, or you're going to die. And he did 30 days later. So his grandson, Benjamin Harrison, gave one
of pneumonia, right?
Gave one of the shortest speeches, but not the shortest. I was wrong. I learned my lesson here because I had to study more and then I had to reevaluate. So last week is still in process. But the shortest inaugural speech was George Washington.
George Washington. I think he said thank you.
Something like that.
Probably.
It was like
he was rather laconic.
William Henry Harrison spoke for like 2 hours or something. And I think that George Washington's speech was like 124 words. That's very, very short. So I thought it was Benjamin Harrison. I think that was lore that I learned as a kid, having a history degree and being an Indiana person. But it was
we just tripped over an hour.
But it was one of the shortest speeches. So last week's answer was William Henry Harrison and George Washington. This week, the question is, who is the hero?
Right.
The Mount New Orleans from Tennessee and the president. Easy.
They have no idea what they've done or what we'll do. Me and you. Charlie's words. Thank you, folks, for hanging out with us on the Drinks with Dee Dee and John show.
And please think about Charlie Kirk's family at the funerals.
Make a difference. Make a difference today. Make a difference tomorrow. Make a difference. For God's sake, make a difference. We love you. We're glad that you watch us and hope you're entertained. We certainly are. I love you.
I love you. More suggestions for places, and we love Charlie Kirk and his family.